second time's a charm here. Hopefully our connection stays good and we are good to go. I have 12 quick and easy, woohoo, 12 quick and easy DIY primitive Christmas tree decorating ideas for you today because I have a tree to decorate and I'm wanting to do it primitive style. So come on in, I'm going to share my ideas with you today. I have a list of 12 and we may even have a few extras along the way. Some of them I've pre-made, some of them you're going to make with me today and see just how quick and easy they are. A lot of the things that I'll be using today that are things that you can very easily get your hands on, or you may already have in your decorating stash. So come on in. Hello, Miss Liz. I hope our connection stays good this time. Fingers crossed. Come on. All right, we've got 23 friends in here. You all chat down below and let me see where you're at. Hello, Miss Melanie from Western North Carolina. Hello, Miss Esmeralda. Do chime in. I'm going to tilt our camera just a tiny bit. Chime in and let me know where you are tuning in from today. From Georgia. Hello, Miss Holly Lamb and Lamb Living. Now, let me know what your name is. I know I've seen you before. I apologize for messing with this camera, but it's bugging. I'm talking over myself. Oh, gracious. I'm telling you, something's wonky today. It could just be the little bit of the echo because I am in my kitchen and it's a big open space and sound just doesn't quite do right in here. Texas, but soon to be Nebraska, Indiana, Virginia, in the house. Come on in here. Let me pause. I do have some music going in the background. I'm going to pause that so that we're not interfering with that. Central Florida, welcome in. Hey, Miss Mary, how are you? I hope that you all have found this from our Craft from the Clock group today. This is a special segment that will be broadcasted over there into that group later. Facebook's having issues today, so we're taking everything to YouTube today, or what we can anyway. So let's get started on the 12 quick and easy DIY primitive Christmas tree decor ideas that you can do on your own to decorate a tree in a quick and easy primitive style. All right. Number one, it's something that you've seen everywhere. Pip berries. Pip berries, dried naturals like Sweet Annie and things like that. And I forgot to grab my Sweet Annie, but I have plenty of pip berries today, and I'll grab my Sweet Annie later after we're finished. But anything like a dried natural is a great addition to a primitive style tree. So I have two options here. These are some little picks. I believe these came possibly from Hobby Lobby, would be my guess. These are just little pip berries sprigs, all right? And all I'm doing is I'm just gonna stick them in a couple of little random places. Now, the glorious thing about primitive style decorating, you can make it your own. You can do as, you make it as minimal, as simplistic as you want, or add as much as you want. And you can see I'm not doing anything particular other than just sticking those in. I am taking the sprigs and I am kind of spreading them apart a little bit so that they take up more visual space on my tree, okay? Stick them in a little branch and make sure that it holds, and you're good. You're good. Now, I may have to back the camera up a little bit. Let's try that. Let's back the camera up a little bit so that you all can see a little bit more of the tree. And let's back the tree up a little bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. I have some rusty bells at the top. I just threw them up there. I don't know if they'll stay there. I don't know if I'll keep them there or not, but for now, that's where they're at. And these little pip berry sprigs, they're good at filling in some bare places. So if you have a little spot that needs a little color, pop it in there. And I'm just spreading them out here and there. I already have some at the bottom. We'll stick that one right there because there's not anything right there. And then we'll use this little pip berry garland. This is not really, I wouldn't technically call this a garland per se. It's just a strand, a pip berry strand. Oh, you got a dusting of snow today in Illinois, Miss Michelle. We had a few flurries here. Hello, Miss Gail. Watching Connie. Oh, I know. We've got lots of creators that are heading over to YouTube today. So I'm just going to take, this is really long. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just string it around just like you would like a little popcorn garland or anything like that, and just evenly space it around as I go. Okay. Now it's going to get twisted and hung on itself, which is kind of the tough part about these little pipberry garlands. So if you have to, you can just cut it and restart it. It's not a big deal. And no one will know but you that you did that. There we go. Sometimes you kind of have to pull a little bit out ahead. Now my tree probably needs to be fluffed just a tiny bit more, but these are just going to add just a real simple little touch. Now what could you use instead of pipberry garland? Guess what? You could take a grapevine wreath and unwind the grapevine wreath and do the same thing. I have done that on a tree before. You could also use some honeysuckle vines. Some dried honeysuckle vines are perfect for this. You could use popcorn. Dried cranberries. Lots of dried things you can turn into a little strand of garland. Now this is just something really simple. Now, there's lots of different interpretations of primitive style decorating, so you do you. Do what you like. Do what matches maybe the decor that you have. Oop, I just pulled that one out. Have in any particular room where you're going to put your tree. I pulled that one out too. And I'm just going to wind it all the way around to the top, and it's wired, so there it is. Now, you probably can't see it from where you're at. That's okay. It's there. And it's simple and subtle enough that you can see it when you're up close. That's what I like about that. Now, I probably will add a couple of sprigs of sweet Annie into that as well. You've done that for years on your, good thinking, good thinking, good thinking. Okay, so the next things I have for you, which I meant to grab a few more from my box. Going along with the same thing of dried naturals, pine cones. How many of you can get your hands on some pine cones? Now, if you grab these at your local craft supply store, you're good to go. If you grab these out in nature, you'll want to pop them in a real low temp oven around 150, 200 degrees for about 20 minutes or so, just to kill off any little critters that might be stowing away inside. So I'm just going to take those and tuck it in. And these are super simple to get your hands on. Now, if you want to add a little wire to them, it would probably help them stay put a little better. But ain't nobody got time for that around here today. So they're getting tucked in today. Just ordered some sweet Annie seeds. All right, Doreen. My entire yard is surrounded. Oh, Michelle, I love the smell of fresh pine. I am jealous. I am jealous. Okay, we stuck those in. So that's number 2. Number 1 was pip berries and some dried naturals like sweet Annie. Number 2 was pine cones. Number 3, cinnamon stick bundles. Let me show you what I've got in mind for these little cinnamon stick bundles. I'm throwing cinnamon sticks everywhere. You can get your hands on these cinnamon sticks at your local craft supply store too. And I'm just going to put some in a few bundles of like 3 or so. And what I'm probably going to do, let me see about this. I was thinking I might just take some of this twine, or, you know what else would look really cute is if you have some little ripped fabric pieces, I think. Let's look here. I have a bag of just dried fabric pieces. This is cute. A little piece of the red and tan ticking. Take it around and wrap it around your bundle. These are just going to be super small, yet simple enough. Super simple and small, but they'll add a little dash of color and a touch of natural. So that's all I'm doing right there. I could tie this in a little bow. I'm not so much on bows though. I think what I'm going to do is tuck that right there. And then if you are able to get some of these little wire Christmas ornament hangers, just these little hooks, just like that. Hey, Miss Cindy. Pine cones for days. Oh, Miss, you're in good luck, Miss Lori. You're in the next. Oh, y'all are talking about where you're from. Maybe y'all can connect and see where you're at. Yes, you need some more sweet tea, Miss Susan. Pine cones are plenty. Yes. Okay. So all I'm going to do is put that on a little hook, and I've twisted that little wire around there, and I'm just going to stick it in some little random places. Okay. I do want to make sure that that little tie, the little knot shows. I think that's a cute little touch. And I'll give you some close-up looks here in just a minute. So let's do a few more of those. And you can mix and match your fabrics. If you're going with a particular theme, this would be a good time to kind of looking to see if I have any more of that little red ticking. I have some scrap pieces. Here we go. It would be a good time to use your scrap fabric pieces for this. It would be a great idea. Okay, I've got another little bundle. I'm just going to twist it in a knot. I'm putting a bundles of 3. Twisting it in a knot. If you want to give it a little extra bit of security, tap a little bit of hot glue underneath that fabric knot, and that'll hold it a little bit more secure for you. Okay. Take a little Christmas hook. See that on my hand? I'm going to hook it under the back. Oop, there we go. Hook it under the back. Pull it out, and then I'm going to twist it so that it stays put. Okay. So that's what I have right there. All right. Rhode Island. Oh my goodness, Susan. Prayers for you. Yes, cinnamon sticks are always a good, easy addition. So here's what it'll look like from the front, okay? They look super sweet, nestled in the greenery, okay? Now, I'm going to do a few of these with you today of each little ornament that I'm giving you the ideas for. And then I'll have to finish and do more later off of camera for today. Okay, I don't want to take up all your time showing you repetitive ones. Okay, so let's go on to the next idea, which would be number 4. And we have something really cool. Another natural, imagine that. That's what a lot of primitive style decorating is, honestly, is naturals. Okay, so I've got 2 variations of this idea, okay? So let me show you what I have here. Now, some of this, in its real natural state, this is what it's going to look like. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, that thing is ugly. I would never hang that on a Christmas tree. Thank you, Miss Susan. It's a work in progress. So when you get them, and if they look like this, give them a good washing. And if they still have the look of that on it, take a little piece of fine grit sandpaper and sand them down to where they're clean and smooth for you, okay? That's what you would do. I have a little bag full of those. Here are the ones that are already clean. You could paint these up like little miniature snowmen. That would look super cute. I'm not going to do that today, but that's definitely a thought. I'm getting this light out of my face here a little bit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my drill, and what I'm going to do with this drill is I'm going to drill a hole from one side to the other side, about, maybe about a ½ inch down from the top of that gourd, okay? Now, some of these are easier to do that than others, okay? All I can say is have a little bit of patience and a good drill bit, and you're good to go. Now, this little gourd is a little too wide for my drill bit to go all the way through, so I'm going to have to make another hole on the other side this way. Normally I would just be able to take my drill bit all the way through from one side to the other, Okay, you're gonna need a little piece of real thin wire. I just have some floral wire here, but you could use some rusty wire. But you definitely want wire versus like a twine or anything like that. I can't find the end of my wire. Where'd it go? Where is it? Is that not the craziest thing? It's like completely disappeared, and I just had it because I just cut a piece off of it a little bit ago. There it is. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna cut a piece off long enough to string through the gourd, okay? And then to also make a little loop at the top, okay? This floral wire is thin enough to where you can cut it with scissors, okay? So I've got a little tiny hole on each side, and I'm gonna do my best to see if I can't string this through. This might be a little tricky, but this is a good project for the kids to do. Kind of keeps them working. I think I'm right there. Patience is not a virtue when you're on a live. Let's do this little one. I know I can go directly across on this one, and my hole will go all the way across. These little gourds are hollow on the inside. And if you can go straight across like that, it's much easier to thread your wire through, okay? So just want that wire straight, okay? So that you kind of get a straight shot. There you go. All the way through, and that makes it a little bit easier. The first one I did no problem, but I've got a slew of these that I want to do. So there we go. There we go. String it all the way through there. See that? And then now all I'm going to do is take this up and make a little loop, and I'm going to twist it over on itself. Okay, make an X, and then just twist it over on itself. Watching from Denmark, welcome in. So glad you're here. Thank you, Miss Joyce. And then that wire is a green floral wire, so it will disappear against the green of your tree, okay? So I've done several of these, and these are perfect. If you look at any of the primitive style tree decorating ideas, maybe on Pinterest or in magazines, you will see these little mini gourds. Sometimes they're called like spinner gourds, mini gourds. If you search anything like that, you'll find them. My friend Esmeralda from Lovett's Garden may have some. If you look her up on Facebook, she may be able to help you out. And if she's in the comments below, she can put a link to her page. Thank you, Miss Sonia. So good to see you. She can put a link to her page, and you can message her and let her know that you're interested, okay? Now, let's see here. I'm going to hang this one right here. These are just the sweetest little touch. And if you are good at freehand painting, these are really cute to make into little snowmen. Really cute, okay? So like I said, we're just going to put a few of these on and move right along because I don't want to take up too much of your time today. Just giving you these ideas that you can recreate on your own and add lots of them to your tree. Okay, I have a whole stash over here I'm going to be working on later today. All right, so that was number 4. Number 5, something that's super easy is rag balls. Rag balls. These were a super big thing back in the day. Ladies were sewing all the time. Fabric scraps were plentiful. So what did they do with their fabric scraps? A lot of times they rolled them up into balls. Just like so. Ruggedy, tattered. That's the look that you're wanting to go for. So all I have done is taken a styrofoam ball, okay, sphere, whatever you want to call it, and wrapped some fabric straps around this, securing it with a little bit of hot glue or fabric tack or whatnot as you go along. So now you could add a twine hanger string to these, or you can just tuck them in your tree, okay, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tuck them in there. You can make these all different variations of sizes, okay, different colors. Once again, you can mix and match and make these tie in to your decor. Homespun and natural are the 2 themes that you want to go with when it comes to thinking of ideas on things to add to your primitive style tree. Okay, so number 6, mini pantry tarts or mini pantry tart cookies. So let me show you what I've got here. And I shared that recipe with you today on my Telegram channel. So if you are one of my Telegram peeps, you have this recipe on there for you so that you can make a batch of these on your own. So these are just little mini gingerbread pantry tarts, pantry cookies. They smell like cinnamon and coffee, and they're the perfect little homespun addition to a little tree. They look like little mini gingerbread cookies. I'm not going to add anything to them. I like the simplistic look to these. So all I'm going to do, you could use twine or you could hot glue one of those little metal hangers onto the back, which I think is what I'm going to do on a few of these, just for sake of time today. So I'm going to take one of these little metal hooks and I'm going to hot glue it to the back, okay? And this disappears against the tree, so you won't even see, my cord will stretch, you won't even see that hook once it's on the tree. So I'm just going to lay a bunch of these flat and glue some of these hangers on. You have about 2 dozen of the mini gourds. Awesome, Miss Esmeralda. I'm going to tilt this camera down so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Hopefully here. Taking another little hanger, I'm placing it on the back of the gingerbread cookie. The little, you could do this with a salt dough, and my pantry tart recipe sort of is a variation of a salt dough, okay? It's a little bit different in the sense that it has instant coffee added to it though, okay, to give it the color, and cinnamon, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to add another little hook onto the back. I made a couple little batches of these, so some of these might be a little smaller or thinner, but that would be the cute little project for the grands or nieces or nephews or even your own children, to take some little mini cookie cutters, make a batch of the pantry tarts recipe, the dough, and roll them out and let them cookie cut their shapes and let them air dry. And then you have your own little handmade ornaments for your tree. I'm letting this hot glue dry just a little bit before I pick them up. Okay, and I've got a slew of them here. Oh, good, Patricia, good. You know, it would be cute to do a little batch of hearts for Valentine's Day. You could do stars for 4th of July, or every day. You could keep the stars up all year round, honestly. Okay, that one's pretty secure. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm decorating this little part right here where you all can see so that you can get a good look at what these look like on the tree. And these look so cute. Now you could add a little fabric, a little rag tie to these to kind of dress them up if you want. Whoop, I don't know if that one was glued all the way. Yeah, that glue's not dry. Hold on here. Hold on here. This one is saying, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. My little hanger here is getting messy because my fingers got in the glue. All right, just have a little patience, which I did not have. Let's see, what can y'all see? Let's stick this one right here. There we go. Okay, so I have a whole batch more of cookies to add my hangers to, and I'll add those later. Let's move on down the list. Who's here? Yes, the salt, it's a pantry tart recipe. If you're on my Telegram channel, I did post it. I'll post it here on my YouTube page as well so that you can find it. Where is your tree from? And the gourds. Glenda, my tree, I honestly think I got it at Walmart a couple of years ago. I mean, it's not a true primitive style tree. I've been looking for a twig tree, which is what you see in a lot of primitive style decorating. And I have seen a few on Marketplace. You all know how I love to shop Marketplace. And I have had 2 sell like faster than I could get to them. So I'm keeping my eyes open for a twig tree. They're really bare and sparse. That's more of a primitive style, but this is just like a pencil tree, a thin cashmere pencil tree. So that's what you're saying. I'm trying to see, what am I, oh, that's a little cinnamon bundle. So I like this. It's still full, but it's slender, okay? You would love a feather tree. Oh, now the gourds you can get from my friend Esmeralda at Lovett's Garden. Let me see, Luvitts. That's how you spell her first name of her shop, Garden. You can find her on Facebook, Lovett's Garden, okay? All right, let's look at my list. We've done the pip berries and dried naturals. We've done the pine cones. We've done cinnamon sticks. 4, we've done the mini gourds, rag balls. 6, we did the mini pantry tart cookies. Number 7, the fabric banner, which is what you see right here. Right here underneath of me, which I made this maybe last year or the year before. Oh, we have a few more little gingerbread cookies here. Okay, so this was just a strip of muslin fabric, okay? Muslin with an N at the end. Muslin fabric. It's used in a lot of primitive style decorating crafts and sewing projects. So I measured out a piece, I don't know, this was probably maybe 4 or 5 inches wide, and I ripped it, okay? Made a big rip, okay? I used a stencil, not a stencil, some stamps, some little letter stamps, and stamped out, kind of in a faded style, the word Christmas. Now, I don't know if this is appearing backwards for you or not, but it is printed out in the right direction, I promise. And by the way, if you are watching this on just like a YouTube, as far as like a computer or a TV screen, and my video is really thin and slender, try downloading the YouTube app on your mobile device or like a tablet or iPad, and your viewing experience will be more full screen and you'll get the full effect, okay? Just wanted to put that out there in case you didn't know. And then I just dovetailed the ends, okay? I've coffee stained this piece of muslin fabric, and it's ready to go on my tree as a banner, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of angle it sort of off-centered at a diagonal, okay? I do kind of want the word Christmas to show, so you kind of have to pick the part of your tree where the width is kind of in just the right size. This little gingerbread guy is going to be in the way. Let's move him. We'll move him up here for now. Okay. So all I like to do is I kind of like to pinch the corners, okay? And you can see where I've pinched this one. Pinch it, and you can put a little sprig. What you could do, here, let's just do this. You can take one of these little hanger hooks, okay? Reshape it, okay? Take this little fabric banner, and I'm just gonna kind of pinch it together, or you could use a bread tie. I mean, you can even use a bread tie. Twist it around like so. And then you're ready. What you can do is you can take that wire and just twist it around your branch. Let me redo this a little bit. Get a tighter twist. My twist was a little too loose. So twist it down tight, clamp it down tight, and then twist. Okay, that's what I got there. So now that when I go and put this on my tree at the end, this is gonna twist onto the branch and hold it into place. So I'm gonna twist it I think I'm gonna put it right here on this branch. And the good thing about this is you can move it wherever you want. Okay, twisted that, and you can reuse this, of course. And if you want to do, if you're a person who wants to keep a tree up for all year long and you want to do it for different seasons or different holidays, guess what? Make a banner for each holiday. You could put, love, or you could just spell out Happy Valentine's Day or whatever you want to. For Valentine's Day, now, I have another one that I use for my Americana decor that I put, I believe I just have America on it. And I do the same thing with it. So I'm putting another twist tie on this end. And then I'm stretching it across. Now, what I would really like to do, and probably what I will do, right above this one, I'm going to make another one that says Merry. I'll put Merry, and then this one will say Christmas. All right, stay on there. It's like, ha, 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 I'm going to show you. Where did it go? That green wire disappears, and then I can't see it. Get it twisted on here, and then we will kind of tuck and, okay, I'm going to get it on there the best I can for right now. It's not wanting to be quick with me here. So I'm going to just tuck it in like that. Now you might decide that you want yours a little bit more narrow. It depends on the sizing of your stamps that you may have. Okay, I grabbed those letter stamps on Marketplace. Would you believe that? We will share. Yes, I will, Miss Glenda. Love the banner. Okay, good. It's not backwards. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so what idea was that? Number 7. So number 8, fabric covered wooden clothespins. Let me show you. So I have this super sweet bundle of vintage or retro Christmas fabrics from my friend Esmeralda at Love It's Garden. She sent me a few of these, and aren't they darling? I love them. Look at those red snowflakes, and then it's just a real fun vintage red stripe, and it even has like some faux like vintage tape looking stains on them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, did I grab those? Yes, I did. Okay. These wooden clothespins, you can find these at places like Hobby Lobby, really easy, okay? Now, I have used these some in the past. This one has some glue on it. I think I can just peel that right off and reuse it to give you this idea. Maybe. That one's not going to peel off. Okay, so here's what they look like after you kind of stain them. I like to just use like a dark wax, and I'm going to just wax one up for you real quick. Any kind of dark wax will work, okay, or stain. Use what you have. You can soak them in a little bit of coffee grunge. The coffee grunge is not going to soak into this wood super well, though. I think there is a little bit of a coating of some kind on these that prevents that coffee stain from soaking into it very well. So just experiment with it, okay? Let me see, I need a paper towel. Okay, and I'm just gonna hold this in. I'm just coating this with a little bit of dark wax, and then I will wipe it back. But you wanna get in those grooves. You just wanna darken it up a little bit, age it. You can also use, a lot of times you all see me use the Tim Holtz, the Distressing ink. You can use those. Anything to kind of just darken it up a little bit, all right? This one, I believe I used some stain and some coffee grunge. Now, this was the Howard's Antiquing Wax. And, of course, you can add more color to it to continue darkening it as you need to. But you can see some places on these absorb more of the color than others. It's really, I think, just whatever kind of coating they have on these that prevent it kind of from soaking in. So you might want to just give them a light sanding before you apply anything like that, and that will probably give you better results, okay? All right, so we're going to work on those 2, but you can continue doing a whole bag. I mean, they come in tons of them come in a bag, and I've already taken the tag off of these, so I don't know how many come in this bag. So let me put my ink brush back in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some strips of this, you know, these primitive style, oh my goodness, I'm getting these hooks everywhere, primitive style fabrics, and you want to kind of rip them, coffee stain them, grunge them, and then rip them into some thicker type strips, okay? You won't want to go super thin. You see my cinnamon dust is going everywhere. Thank you, Miss Esmeralda. Okay, so what I'm going to do to get these started, I will probably put just a little dab of hot glue on the wood pin itself. Now, if you want to use a different kind of glue, you're good. But kind of once you get it started, you're kind of good to go. It'll kind of hold on to itself. And I want these to kind of look tattered and kind of worn. So when I wrap this around, I want some of that raveled edge to just kind of hang out. All right. And this is another good way that you can tie in your colors. Okay. Now I'm just wrapping them, kind of getting them a little bit thicker and chunky. I want this to look like a true little fabric, just a haphazard type wrap of this little clothespin. Okay. All right. Now wrap it around just like so. See how simple that is? And then all I'm going to do is take another little strip of like a twine or string. Let's use some little twine string. And then I'm just going to wrap it around a couple of times and then tie it off in a knot. Okay. Well, my chubby little fingers are not cooperating today. Target has a twig and pine branch Christmas tree that's really nice, but it might be online. Okay, I have not seen that. I'll have to look. I know Walmart had kind of a version of one too. A lot of people had kind of mixed reviews on that, but I did see that. I thought that looked pretty cool. Okay, so that's what you got. Now you can wrap all kinds of them with different coordinating fabrics. Let's do a green one real quick because I love the color of this green. This is a great way, once again, to use your fabric scraps. Or if you just have a batch of fabric that you just don't know what to do with, use it. Use it. It's not going to do you any good sitting in a drawer, is it? So use it. All right, put a dab of hot glue on there, and then let's wrap this around. Now, if you wanted to, you could embellish these a little bit more with some little bitty mini pine cones, or I don't know, a little rusty star or something like that. Just get creative. I need to wrap this up a little bit higher. Hold on, let's rewind a little bit. There we go. I want a lot of that color to kind of show. There we go. How sweet is that? Real simple. Another string of twine. Wrap it around and tie it off. Now, what you could do is you could grunge these. I meant to bring my grunge to the table today and totally forgot it. But you could add some coffee grunge to these, let it soak in, and then let it dry. Give you a great smell to these little ornaments. Okay, I'm tying it in a knot. Now, I think, real quick, I'm going to add a little bit more dark wax to this fabric and the tie, just to kind of dirty it up a little bit. Since I don't have my grunge with me, I want it to kind of look ruffled and tattered. So I'm just taking it and I'm just rubbing that wax from that brush onto the fabric and onto the tie. There you go. My lighting makes it look a little bit dirtier than it really is. Okay. Do the same thing to this one. Okay, there you go. So now you've got several options there, all right? Once again, using fabric scraps and just some basic wooden clothespins. Okay, so how am I going to hang these? I'm probably going to try to use these same little hooks. I'm going to see about sliding it right underneath, right underneath that little twine string on the back, right there, okay? And then just twisting it off, okay? And then just hanging it right on the tree. Okay? I have seen some super cute ideas on turning these little wooden clothespins into like a little Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. That would be a super darling little set if you wanted to do that. Okay, twisting this around. And we'll add this one over here. Okay. There we go. Love that. Okay, more ideas. What's next? Let's look at the list. Mini brooms. Mini brooms are really cool with primitive style decorating. You've probably seen them before, but may not be able to get your hands on those. So here's another alternative. These are from the Dollar General, and they're little mini cinnamon fragranced brooms, and they smell absolutely amazing. They smell absolutely amazing. So this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to keep these really simple. I wish I could smell these. Smell. They smell amazing. They're so cute. They already have a little twine hanger on them. You could dress them up if you wanted to, put a little fabric tie around it. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to add them to the tree, just like they are. I'm going to put one over here. Kind of looks a little bare over here. This little twine string is not quite big enough to go under my chubby branches. But these just give a nice smell too. So, and they're so simple. And all you got to do is open them up and add them. Nothing to do. They already smell amazing. I think I'm going to add a little hook to this one because this little hanger is too small for me to get on my branch. I'm just going to add a little hanger on there. There. That makes life easier. And then just kind of tuck it in there a little bit. Okay? And then I have one more. I have 3 of these. I probably should have grabbed like 10 of these. I think they were, don't quote me, I think they may have only been like $1. But they smell so good. And then if you want to reuse them for next season, just refresh them with a little bit of cinnamon oil, okay? And that'll get you a freshened scent. But those are so cute. And easy, right? Okay, we're moving right on along. Here we go. Next on the list, we have wood slices. Remember I told you that things are like homespun, natural, things like that. Wood slices, let me show you. You may have seen me make a wood slice ornament or two about a month or so ago. Use these wood slices, drill a hole in them, and use your Christmas fabrics. Maybe you have a collection of fabrics from a family member that collects fabric or has a collection that maybe you've inherited. So use that fabric and turn them into some super sweet little ornaments, just like so, with a little fabric tie. All I have done, I made this look like it was hand stitched, but if you use a gel pen, I have my gel pen around here somewhere, my favorite gel pen, I just hand write it and it looks like the real thing, okay? I have coffee stained it, my fabric, and then I just added it to that wood slice and grunged it up a little bit, and that is a super sweet, I've got a glue string, a super sweet addition to your tree. All right, I think I'm going to add this one right here. And then I have another one I'll show you too. I must have just dipped that right in the glue somehow. Okay, and here is another one. I used that vintage retro green stripe Christmas fabric with another little piece of vintage retro fabric with a little boy on his Christmas skis. Isn't that sweet? So I've made several of those, and you can do them double-sided if you want. Or if you want to make these as a gift tag. Use these as a gift tag. So if you wrap a present, write the name on the back, write the year, and then it automatically becomes from a gift tag to a Christmas ornament keepsake that they can keep you know, as a little keepsake. I love it. Okay, so this one's going right here. I know y'all probably can't see that one. Okay, next on the list, rag bows or rag ties. Okay, so here's my thought process. You know, you've probably got lots of scrap fabric, right? So here's what you can do. I'm going with something that's a little neutral. Taking a peek out my window. My chickens are in the backyard. I want to make sure I saw a chicken out there. Make sure they were still all out there. I have just taken some coffee stained, coffee grunged, torn muslin fabric strips, okay? And I have coffee stained them and baked them in my oven. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to make some fabric ties. Now you will see that this coordinates with the fabric that I have on my banner. It coordinates, let's see, it coordinates with the fabric, the hanger hooks, little bows, ties that I have on those wood slice ornaments. All I'm going to do is make a couple little ties. I'm going to tie it around a branch. Now you can make it a bow. Bows are really popular this year on trees. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they kind of come and go through the years. You know, they're popular one year and not so popular the next. But just tied in a real simple little rag bow tie. And you can put those, this little rag ball fell out. Tuck those and just, I have a whole stash of this coffee grunged fabric. And I like them long so that you can kind of see. Let's do one right here where you can see it. And then I'll take my phone off the tripod here in a little bit and kind of give you a close-up view here in a minute of some of these items. And I like the long tails on these because it kind of gives you that worn and tattered look. And it gives you a little bit more something to look at. Thank you, Miss Michelle. Hey, Miss Susan. Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to add a couple more here and there while we're live. Let's see. I'm trying to do them where you can see them. Okay. Tie this one on. And they're super simple. And you can even leave these on. If you put your tree away for the year, you don't even have to take these little rag bows off. You can leave them on and they're going to come out, you know, because they already kind of have that tattered look already. Okay? All right, so I would put like at least probably 20 on this tree, honestly, if I were to do it ready to go. My last, number 12, is dried orange slices. They are so big with primitive style Christmas tree decorating. You can turn them into garlands. You can turn them into ornaments. You want to be sure that you dry them super well. So let me show you what I've done. I have just bought a big bag of oranges. And I use my mandolin slicer. So let me come across here and grab this real quick. Maybe. Easier said than done when you're working around a Christmas tree in your kitchen. Okay, so I have a slicer. Now, if you have a slicer, you know what kind of mean machine this can be. Okay, so you want to be super careful when you're using one of these mandolin slicers. Believe me. Ask me how I know. Okay. So I'm just going to take one of these oranges and at one of the ends, okay? One of the ends that you see the little markings, okay? That's what I call the ends, okay? I'm just going to take it and I'm going to make one slice to kind of give me a flat edge, okay? And then I put a plate, let me tilt this down a little bit more, sorry of that. You're going to put a plate under your slicer so that it catches your slices, okay? So here I go. I'm just going to make a couple of slices. All right, I'm good. You want that full circle. You want that even circle of orange segments, okay? Now, once you get that kind of going like that, then you're going to actually use, I don't know what the technical term is for this, but the holder piece. That's my technical term for it. It's your finger saver. That's what it is. And you're just going to make some even slices. Sometimes until you get it going a little bit, it's a little bit hard to maneuver. Okay. All right. So I'm down to the little stubby. All right. So I can pull that off my little stickers there. Now, moving this out of the way, I kind of missed my plate a little bit. If you don't do your even slices, these are just snacks, right? But you want some of these even slices that have the rind all the way around, okay? So like this one is perfect. You have that even rind all the way around because you've applied even pressure as you were slicing it, okay? So filter out what pieces you want to keep and what pieces are snacks, okay? You're going to take a little bit of lemon juice and you're going to sprinkle over your slices. All right, or you can dip it or spray it or whatever you want to do, okay? The key is you want to dip them in the lemon juice. This will prevent them from getting super brown, okay? And then you're going to put them on a cookie sheet and put them in your oven or put them in a dehydrator. I've seen some that even say they can use an air fryer. I don't have an air fryer, so I can't tell you specifically how well that works. I put mine on a cookie sheet and place them in my oven, set at 200 degrees. And then I just rotate them every, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, right? So that's what we have there. All right, I've already placed a bunch on my cookie sheet, and I've had some in the oven for a couple of hours. So let me grab those, and we'll see how they look. Now, I will say, if you do this, you will want to be sure that you completely, I dropped that one, that you completely dry these, okay? Now, mine probably need an hour or so. They have flipped several times, okay? But once you get them dry, okay, you can spray them with cinnamon oil, you can spray them with orange oil, whatever you want to do. But these will make a beautiful ornament or turning it into a garland for your tree. Now, I have a few of these that are drier than others that I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you. Isn't that beautiful? It almost gives you a little stained glass look with the design of the segments. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of those little metal hooks again, okay? And very carefully, you want to make sure that these are completely dry before you do this. I'm going to stick it on, twist it around, and you're going to use these as decoration on your tree. Let's see. So I want you to go to Pinterest and I want you to look at primitive style Christmas tree decorating, and I want you to tell me, what are the two most common things that you will see on a primitive style tree? It will be dried orange slices and mini gourds. It will. You don't have an air fryer. I don't, Rebecca. Thank you, Karen. Now, it honestly just depends how long. It depends on how thick they are, okay? I made mine probably about 1/8 of an inch thick, and I have it on a 200-degree oven, and they've been in there since about 140. They've been in there they've been in there for 2.5 hours, almost. And they're probably about halfway dry, okay? They still need to dry a little bit longer, but they smell so good. They smell so good. And these give you that pop of natural color. You can do the same thing with lemons, with limes, anything like that, okay? There we go. I'm gonna hook that on there. Let's see. These are gonna go kind of anywhere and everywhere. but they're perfect. Perfect little touch of natural. You've made 4 clothespins while watching. Awesome, Michelle. So happy. So that was 12 quick and easy DIY primitive Christmas tree ornament ideas for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. And if Facebook is back up and operating later today, I hope that you can join us over on Facebook at Craft Round the Clock. If you like watching live crafting, DIYing, and chatting, I would love for you to join us. Michelle, I have not done apple slices, but I do know that they take longer to dry. If you try those, I do know they take longer to dry. You want to make sure that you store them properly so that you don't attract critters or anything like that. But if you dry them thoroughly and store them properly, you can reuse these year after year. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you again very soon.